Anime, the last bastion of creativity and the Western problem by It'sAGundam. Well, I wonder if the Western problem just involves tourists who, cannot differentiate between reality and fiction. There's been a lot of talk about Frieren recently. What is it with weirdos empathizing with, demons in Frieren? Like, why are you putting yourself in their shoes? Demons in Frieren are absolute and utter evil. They have no humanity. Weird. Weird. Why are you putting yourself into, like, self-inserting yourself into them? That's a bit weird, would you say? Anyways.
It'sAGundam. He's just a piece of crap.
Since when did that one drop? Since when does he have a new intro? Right now.
In the last decade, anime and media from Japan as a whole have become the last bastion of creativity and art the Western world consumes. Thought-provoking TV shows and movies that change your worldview, remind you that you're human, or that something is beautiful in the world. Better yet, possibly inspires you. This is something that we are so sorely lacking in the age of AI and modern Hollywood.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone else in grave danger.
What the fuck? Wait, is that Pedro Pascal? Wait a minute. Why does he... Bro needs his beard back. What the fuck?
I need you to give me this.
In Dostoevsky's novel, The Idiot, Prince Myshkin says, "Beauty will save the world." I believe this to be true. Even if you were to take the quote at face value or hyper-analyze it, it cannot be denied. Whereas to Hollywood has been churning out reboot after reboot, remake after remake, reimagining after reimagining.
And it gets worse every single time than the original. It gets worse every single time. Any reboot, any remake, any reimagining, it gets worse every time. And not only that, we seem to be incapable of preserving the originals. Have you looked at, like, when you have the original there, right? You have, for example, you have, like, the original, Blu-ray of something, and then you go on a streaming service, and you compare the two, and, like, the one that's on the streaming service is significantly less quality than the one you have on the Blu-ray. It's, like, interesting. The further media gets repurposed, the original media gets repurposed, the less quality it'll have. Audio issues, like frame issues, picture quality, everything just gets worse the more it gets spread out. Why is this happening? Shouldn't the quality actually, in fact, get better? But it gets worse. I wonder where that's coming from as well. We lack even the ability to preserve our old media.
Safe bet after safe bet that barely breaks even at best. Films and television have lost all meaning. Shows are as soulless as the streaming providers that they're on. Gen Z and Gen Alpha no longer care about Hollywood movies, and they know it. That's why they're slow.
Why would I? It's slop. Why would I? Why would I? Why would I care about Hollywood? It's just the same story repurposed over and over with gender swaps, race swaps, I don't know, it's just the same story over and over again. Give me something new. Give me something that, inspires me, not just the same slop over and over, because apparently millennial writers cannot seem to come up with anything new. What is this? What is this? Like, you know what I've also noticed when it comes to quality? Lighting. Compare old movies, not all of them of course, but compare older movies and compare modern movies, and you can clearly see that whoever was making these older movies knew how lighting works. That's what the Blu-ray's for though. Sell it in perfect quality. True. True.
Pivot shifting to streamers is the future of entertainment, which is really sad.
God help us all.
The MCU is a walking corpse, feeding off the flesh of the comic book source material for almost 20 years now, and still not translating it correctly. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle grossed more at the box office than Superman and the Fantastic Four, Marvel and DC's heavy hitters, the massive summer movies. And they still couldn't beat anime. In fact, things are so bad after Superman not exactly being the most.
In fact, they not only can they not beat anime, they try to infect it as well. That's why Crunchyroll and Netflix are desperately fighting who has the most market share. You know what the crazy part is? Why I'm so afraid that Crunchyroll has now about half of it? Of the entire market share for anime here in the West? Because they get to decide what gets made and what not. And once they can decide what gets to get made and what not, you will see less and less what's the diversity for that. Actually, I can't use that word, diversity, in what shows can be made. And it is happening 100%. There is a manga out there that was funded by DEI money, and it did so terribly in Japan that they're selling it here in the West. And guess what the manga is about? Microaggressions of a darker skinned character. Yeah, that's definitely gonna make so much money here in the West. Absolutely.
Multi-billion-dollar film, Warner Brothers is up for sale.
Oh no! What happened?
Have you ever caught yourself reaching for a bad habit without thinking about it? Maybe it's out of stress, boredom, or just wanting to fit in. Well, that's where Fume comes in. It's not about quitting, it's about replacing. Fume is the sponsor of today's video, offering a simple and enjoyable way.
We are skipping the Fume because Fume is disgusting. Fuck Fume.
Role boss on the blockbuster implications of Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. It's now undeniable how big anime has become. The latest summer box office has delivered an unlikely juggernaut, Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. The anime epic has stormed past $555 billion worldwide, making it the highest grossing Japanese film of all time and the top.
Also, can we stop calling the Devil May Cry show and the Castlevania shows anime? They are not anime. Both of those shows feel like whoever made them got all of their knowledge from Reddit, and that's it.
Earning anime feature ever released in North America. Where anime movies were once relegated to the margins, Infinity Castle has stunned with $140 million in 2 weekends, by far the biggest US theatrical run ever for a Japanese title. Given the anime fandom's penchant for repeat viewings and the rumored Chinese release still in the works, there's no telling just how rich Infinity Castle's worldwide haul might become.
I've seen all these movies, and the only one I cared about was Demon Slayer. Superman was like a fart in the wind, and Fantastic Four was so predictable I felt like the writing was done by AI. Meanwhile, Hollywood box office movies are dropping 60 to 80% after release weekend, being the...
Surprise, surprise. See, what I also find funny, you know, it's really interesting how even China is stepping up to fill the void that we can't seem to fill in the West, especially with video games. Yes, it's gacha slop, but China has shown that with Wukong, they can absolutely produce AAA, high-quality video games. Back to how they got an anime name, Invincible, for example, didn't call it anime. Well, Invincible isn't an anime. He's like it falls right into the category of cartoon. Right? Invincible is like based on a comic, right? I know they are not taking all of it in there, but nobody's calling Invincible an anime. But there's people absolutely calling the Netflix show for Devil May Cry an anime, and I'm like, that's not it. It's not an anime.
Norm now, or flopping so badly they get put on ice. Goodbye, Tron. What was it, Tron Legacy, Tron Ares? You'll never see it again. Kevin Feige and those like him are no longer heralded as saviors or sages of Hollywood, but the harbingers of creative doom. In 2020, the COVID pandemic exposed new people to the joys of the niche hobby known as anime, manga, model kits, and even Warhammer, just to name a few. But as in all things, once they become popularized or mainstream,
the hoodweep epidemic base that he puts that in there. Good that he puts that in there. And yes, hoodweeps are essentially just anime. Well, there are oftentimes just depicted as black anime watchers who only consume shonen and nothing else. Usually it's also it usually also comes with like shaming for watching anything that isn't shonen.
They are ruined by the casuals that only enjoy them for their popularity and demand that the new hobby
This video was so horrendous. They couldn't even like remember how they put Astro Boy into F tier? Ugh.
is reshaped around their worldviews or sexual orientations more often than not. This has eroded the American anime scene at an alarming rate. Popular streaming sites are starting to go down, leading to many classic animes that were never localized to the West being lost for probably all time.
Operation Anime shuts down 16 illegal streaming sites. Japan and Brazil have teamed up to fight piracy by shutting down anime streaming sites. If you woke up this morning hoping to catch up on One Piece or maybe some Jujutsu Kaisen episodes on your favorite illegal streaming site, you've probably had a rude awakening.
See, piracy isn't see, piracy oftentimes is a service problem. The show isn't available, so people are watching it illegally. It is a service problem. That's what it most of the time is. Sure, I have to say that piracy also happens because these streaming websites are incredibly greedy, right? Isn't it funny how we have tolerated it? Like, and when everyone was like, oh, streaming websites, crazy, right? Netflix, Amazon, Crunchyroll, right? We don't have to pay for cable anymore because cable's so expensive. Oh, congratulations, you morons. Whether you pay for cable or for streaming services has no difference. In fact, you may be paying more nowadays because you need to have like a bajillion streaming services at the same time. Same with like video game stuff. We're paying for online. If you have like 2 consoles, that means you pay for like Nintendo Online and for PS Plus.
You probably discovered that the site doesn't exist anymore.
Yes, this has happened to me, and it was a terrible, terrible day.
I've seen some of my favorite sites that I have used for years that had some of the rarest anime that an American can see get taken down. And I know I'll never see these shows again. The probability of finding them is little next to none unless I go to Japan and pick up the language, which I'm just too stupid for. But this is the price of mainstream appeal. Once companies realize there's money to be made, they make sure they control every avenue to said product. But there are still some pirate sites that remain, and they pull massive numbers.
The world's largest anime piracy site has surpassed both Disney Plus and Crunchyroll in months.
Base the unknown website. We know it. Well, the unknown website, well, they don't want it to be taken down, so smart to say unknown website. 364 million comparison to Disney Plus and Crunchyroll. The new massage harem isn't available anywhere. Interesting. I've seen like some, I don't know the name, but I've seen something cute with a cute elf lady. It also like the style looks a bit like older anime. I forgot the name, but I might need to look at that. Economic Lesson 101. If you get something for free, you're paying on it in another way. Yep, that's also true. Now, it's also like, we tolerate fucking ads. We went away from cable to avoid ads. And now we have still ads.
Monthly visits. The unknown site is doing 364 million, Disney 343, Crunchyroll 125 million.
Crunchyroll sucks, and so does Disney. It's criminally ass. With big companies taking more interest in anime streaming like Warner Brothers and Netflix, I think even Disney's getting into making some anime shows. Ugh.
Crunchyroll is slowly becoming an anime monopoly, which you might not think is a bad thing till they drop a show you like.
That is absolutely 100% a bad thing. Monopolies are never good. Never. Because then they decide what shows get to be made. There might be a manga that's absolute and utter peak that could get an anime. But because it's not profitable enough, it will never get one. That's the problem. I don't trust Crunchyroll with nothing. Pirate sites only place to watch it at this point. That's like I said, it's a service problem, right? Same with piracy of video games. It's a service problem. It is. Absolutely. There's probably lots of people that would pay to play Pokemon, the DS games, on modern hardware if they offered it. But they don't. And the funny part is, right? The funny part is, especially when it comes to video games, even if I buy them physically used, right? Even if I buy them physically used, it's not going to Nintendo. The money is not going to Nintendo. The money is not going to I don't know why these are even mad. They could be mad if it was actually available to buy, but if I buy Pokemon Ruby used, that money's not going to Nintendo. Why are you mad about that? Money's not going to you. You will never see that money. Why are you mad? MC from Monster Musume. Okay. Market with such players as possible is the best. Our market has less players than possible at the moment. Yeah, like, so Amazon has a deal with mostly Crunchyroll, so that doesn't work. Then you have Netflix. Then you have Disney Plus, and then it's over.
And Lord knows, some anime DVDs, trying to find them is like trying to find a rare Pokemon or something. And the secondhand market for your favorite niche anime, you know, the ones that nobody really talks to.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, $300. Go ahead. Pay almost $400. Go ahead. Pay that. Go. Pay this down here. Pay it. See what happens.
Too much about like Asoba-sen, something like that, dude. It's $300-$400 for the box set. Dude, you can't get season 2 and season 3.
What the fuck? For $500? For Hajime no Ippo?
3 of Hajime no Ippo on Blu-ray right now. It's $200 a piece. For a DVD, it used to be $30.
What? You motherfucker!
It's 477. 477. That's a lot of money.
Oh my god, you son of a bitch!
Crunchyroll removes 2 animes from the platform, Death Paradise and 91 Days. They removed a...
Wait, Death Parade got nuked? That's crazy. Not only... Wait, yeah, right, Claymore got nuked as well. Claymore got nuked as well. You feel like they really compete? Companies you mentioned... No, they're not competing. They're not competing because... Sorry. Have to yap real quick. They're not competing because, as we can know, Crunchyroll has about 50% of the market. It has about 50% of the market, and it's gonna grow. And it's gonna grow. It's 100% gonna grow. That's the Blu-ray version, yeah.
A lot more than that. Like Claymore, you can technically still watch them via their Amazon Video channel, Roku channel. Claymore, the anime has officially been removed from Crunchyroll, and no longer any platforms that stream it legally.
Of course, because Claymore is one of those great animes. Slash manga, but manga then anime. You know what I'm saying, right? It's one of the best to come out there, and it is a crime that it never got a full anime.
Oh, and did I mention that the localization for some of these major streaming sites have gone to translating through AI?
I'm dead inside.
Crunchyroll ran embarrassingly bad ChatGPT subtitles on new anime series.
Oh yeah, this is German. Yeah, I've seen it. That many. Okay, so basically what they did is the German subtitles for this anime were so dog shit. They also were really dog shit, especially for like stuff like Dragon Ball Daima as well. Funny how this, yeah.
The streamer previously said it had no plans to use AI in the production of its anime program. The subtitles for one of Crunchyroll's newest anime series make it pretty clear that the company is going all in on ChatGPT. This week's viewers logged in to Crunchyroll to check out the studio Gokumi's Necronomicon and Cosmic Horror Show. Many were surprised to see that the series subtitles were filled with typos, grammatical errors, and explicit references to ChatGPT.
See, the problem is, so if AI does it, you get grammatical errors. If a person does it, you get ideological bullshit. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. At that point, pick your poison. What do you want?
The subtitles seem very much like text that had been generated with AI and slapped onto Necronomicon and Cosmic Horror Show without first being reviewed and edited for accuracy.
Money, please.
Holy Jesus. You know that site pulls in millions of dollars a year. and they couldn't even be bothered to double check this.
Corporate anime streaming sites always looking to add AI and not hire real humans. But to be fair, localization has been so bad, fans have begun to complain to Japan about anti-censorship of the anime on Twitter.
My colleagues around the world have told me
Yeah, Japanese politicians have acknowledged that there's censorship going on in their works here in the West. Let that sink in.
about many examples of censorship in the name of localization. I'm often surprised by them, and I think the Japanese people have been slow to acknowledge this issue. However, in my recent years, it's become a very important topic for Japan, which aims to be a nation built on content culture. Japanese people also read the messages in the reply section. Please continue to tell us about it.
So you're in a rock and a hard place if you're an American. If they hire someone to localize it, you gotta pray it's not some person that feels the need to rewrite things and reinterpret it.
Or you get ChatGPT.
Wait, I didn't even read this. Wait.
You gotta pray it's not some person that feels the need to rewrite things.
Netflix English localization of One Piece anime changed term new karma into new trans. Yeah. Really interesting. Was that One Punch Man? I'm sure I've seen some of its animation. It's just interesting. It's just interesting. It's also funny how this specific group likes to insert themselves as really ugly characters. I find that very odd.
Things and reinterpret it.
Or you get ChatGPT. And then, if you want the fan subs, which are far better, the fan subs do everything. They give you the lyrics to the anime song and who did it. If there's text on the screen, they translate it. This corporate crap, they do the bare minimum and want to be paid for it, dude. And it's not limited to anime either. Even video games like Dragon Quest deal with Western gender politics or the culture war that we're locked in that they feel needs.
Body type A, body type B, a lip censored on a troll. Other censorship on characters' clothing. There's a reason why I will not buy the Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 remakes, 2D HD remakes. Because there's censorship, and I will not support censorship.
To be projected onto content from other countries.
Creator of Dragon Quest, Yoji Hori, I probably got that wrong, explains how the West is forcing him to censor Dragon Quest 3 HD remake in order to conform.
Yeah, by the way, this interview was quickly pulled down. This interview was quickly taken down because I covered this as well. Yeah, it was incredibly quickly taken down because you can't have things that shouldn't be.
To gender ideology and how it negatively influences Japan.
あとすごい話題になってたそのコスチュームとか当時とそのままなのかどうなのかみたいなのがありましたよね。また。
まあね、いろいろ規制もあってね、露出してきちゃいけないとかね。
そこまあちょっとあんまり深掘りする気は。
コンプラっていう名のね、やっぱりね、ある種のね、なんだろうな、絶対心というべき。
It's like an absolute god, an evil disguised as good. That is how he describes it. You can't see the full subtitles, but that is how he describes it. That should give you enough of an idea.
の名を借りた悪みたいなのがある。全員が不快感を覚えないなんてこと。
There's no such thing as content that doesn't make everyone uncomfortable, which is very true. And I feel like if something makes you uncomfortable, you stop engaging with it. That's the simple idea. If something makes you uncomfortable, instead of crying about it, wanting it censored, wanting it banned, you disengage with it. The problem is that these people can't do that. Because for one, then they're not the center of the attention. And then also, they must desperately get their way because they want to dictate what you can and can't consume. In addition to that, they simply cannot stop engaging with things that make them uncomfortable. Look, you forgot the oh so annoying convenient beam of light. Oh yeah.
はないわけ。だって不快なことを覚える動向でもいいわけよ。だって綺麗汚いとかさ、善悪って人それぞれに感じ方があるわけじゃん。
Because beauty and ugliness, good and evil, are different for everyone. Very true.
物事はやっぱり 根っこにあるのはやっぱり
There are a few things that absolutely must not be done. As long as you follow those, you're free to do the rest. What he talks about here is the ideological bullshit that is inserted into our media nowadays.
絶対やっちゃいけないことだけいくつかあってそれさえやらなきゃあとはいいじゃないってそういうのがないわけよ。だからやっぱり英米の方から来てるその宗教的な概念から来るその正教徒の
There is a religious concept from the West, especially in America, that influences their approach to sex education, right? He literally calls it religious, which is interesting. And it kind of is, because it kind of is like a religious cult, right? This behavior.
考え方ってアメリカにあるじゃない。彼らのコンプラの考え方って本当ね狭い。でだから向こうでコミックスだけに全部その
their approach to what was it? Their approach to compliance is really narrow-minded.
本当ね狭い。でだから向こうで
When selling manga in America, everything had to be categorized by age groups.
コミックスだけに全部その年齢で区切ってやらなきゃいけない。少年ジャンプの漫画だったら13アップ13歳以上じゃないと出せ
For shonen manga, they couldn't be sold unless they were rated ages 13 and up.
私は全部リテイクでなきゃいけない。でそれを訴訟が起きるそのために保険も入らなきゃいけない。もうこんなねバカな国とね。
Fan effing-tastic. That's right. Here, negatively influences Japan. Imagine these creative titans being forced to conform to the mental midgets that would find their work offensive because it's
mental midgets. That's an insult that I'm gonna write down.
Doesn't affirm their worldview. This shouldn't be happening, but it is. And this is why I don't want Western influence in Japanese entertainment. We, as fans of anime and manga, want to escape our culturally and spiritually bankrupt society in the West, since we don't have enough money to flee the country. I forgot to mention a few more stupid points of Crunchyroll, because I'm a petty bitch, so I'm gonna give them to you now. On October 30th, Crunchyroll started removing shows, so people started unsubscribing. Crunchyroll then made it as
good decision. Absolutely, 100%. Here's also the thing. There's many large anime content creators who do not get the concept of tourists or misunderstand it. Tourists aren't new anime fans. Tourists are people who barge into the media, consume the media, dislike it, and unlike others who would be like, okay, I don't like this, I'm gonna stop engaging with it. They want to change it to their liking. Like, they come in and be like, I'm like, this, that is problematic, that is very problematic, and we must change all of this. That is what they do. That is what they do. Mental midget is nice, but it's a bit of a softball. Still useful.
miserable as an experience as trying to get out of your Adobe contract early.
Crunchyroll membership and being asked to provide bank statements. I want to cancel my membership. I did not want to dispute a charge, nor did I say anything to indicate that. I couldn't find a cancel membership option in the settings, so I contacted support for help. The support agent asked for my name and email associated with the account. Reasonable. Then the support agent asked for the card type and the last 4 digits and expiration of the card. I don't think I have ever had to provide this info to cancel an account, but not unreasonable. Then the agent asked for a screenshot of my bank statement showing the charge from them. That seems really strange to me. What could they possibly need that info for? Same happened with me. I want to change my username and they asked for the screenshot of the transaction. Provided them that, and they changed my username.
You might say, Gundo, you're biased. Okay, check this out. Crunchyroll's customer service is handled by mostly AI bots now. Ironically, it's as if they didn't learn the lesson from AI translation on their anime, but whatever, right?
Stupid account management. I want to increase my membership so I could read some manga, but was informed by Crunchyroll's AI help bot that I have to cancel my membership and wait for it to expire before I can upgrade. This is asinine. If I have to cancel my membership, I likely won't be renewing it at a higher tier. Crunchyroll is making it intentionally difficult to give them more money, and I'm betting it's because they are trying to make it harder to cancel overall. I can't believe that such a stupid, unforced error would be made. This is how you lose subscribers, not keep them.
Shut up and buy buy more, Shadow. One thing is crystal clear. Hollywood is coming for anime, and I do not think it's a good thing.
Sony Group deepens its investment in Bloomberg anime sector. With Japanese animation forecast to become a $600 billion business by 2030, Sony is leveraging its assets behind the category. We are very bullish about the overall growth of anime and what that means for us.
You know, years ago I would have thought this was awesome, but after seeing what happened with One Punch Man Season 3, I'm very pessimistic for the future. Now, if they went back to...
I do not trust Hollywood. I do not trust Western entertainment at all. I am 100% assuming that they're malicious.
You know, hand animation like in the 80s and 90s, I'd be down for that, but we're not getting that. We're gonna get slop 2D, 3D animation. What a stupid time to be alive. Anyway, Sony passed up buying Warner Brothers to focus on anime. That is a clear sign that superheroes are dead. And when you think about it, so's Harry Potter.
Sony announces it won't be bidding to buy Warner Brothers because it's focused on the growth market like anime.
Who wouldn't be?
We have no desire for big mergers and acquisitions, deals in the US film industry right now.
Because they are not doing that well.
Simply adding together the current movie studios doesn't strike me as leading to a big gain in profitability, for which scale is everything, so it can create its own position even without becoming one of the top players. The global market for anime is just drawing right now and will continue to grow by double digits for a while. We are focused on growth markets. It's important to have corporate relationships that foster original works. Yeah.
Goodbye, Batman and Superman. James Gunn might be fired soon.
Japanese anime boom is attracting wealthy investors. Major conglomerate from Hollywood.
I don't like investors either. Yes, they're needed to make money, but if their only focus is money, we're gonna get slop. We're gonna get more solo leveling, essentially.
Giants to loaded conglomerates, everyone is investing in anime.
Hollywood wants to make more live-action movies and shows made for streaming based on anime. Just a crazy idea, but why not just invest in anime?
Netflix My Hero Academia movie is taking inspiration from the unlikely show. The film's writer Jason Fuchs also happens to be
Live action My Hero Academia. Why? Why would you do that? Oh, this is gonna... Okay. Bakugo X Deku is gonna be a thing. If Americans take this on, 100%.
Showrunner for it. The screenwriter best known for Argylle and Ice Age, Continental Drift, serves as a co-showrunner for HBO's It prequel series.
Oh my god.
Here's a crazy idea, Netflix. You know, hear me out. Instead of doing a live action My Hero Academia that will obviously be 100% garbage, if not 70% garbage, Sword of the Stranger, do sequel films to that. Get the original animators in studio. That would be hot. Not this. This is not hot. There are a few shows like this in the works, including the live action Gundam with Sydney Sweeney, and God knows why she's in it. I guess it's because she's got nice knockers.
Sydney Sweeney in Final Talk.
Gundam, live action. Sydney Sweeney. Huh? When did that one happen? What? Huh? That's a new one. That's a new one. I've never heard of this. What? When did that DLC drop?
For the Gundam movie at Legendary.
Like, there's a good shot these live action films are gonna eat ass, and I will squeal in horror. And frankly, it's clear the writing is on the wall. Superheroes are out. Shonen is in. Hollywood doesn't love or respect these IPs. One look at how superheroes are handled, and you can see that. The never-ending quest to appease the modern audience doesn't lead to creativity. It leads to stagnation. Shows and movies ruled by committee. My God, the Secret Invasion's already lining up to be trash. And as someone who enjoyed the Secret Invasion comics, everyone should be fired for what they did to the Skrulls. These companies see anime and manga only as something to make money. It's no longer about telling a story or even making art. It's about content now. That permeates the industry like a wet fart, just stinking up everything.
True. Content. We need more content. Everything needs to be content. It needs to be entertaining. It doesn't need to be... It doesn't need to look beautiful. It doesn't need to promote good morals, values. It's just so tiring. Good messages, inspiring. That's just not needed anymore. That's just not needed. Good genes. What can I say? I wonder if she's selling it in her resume. Good fat distribution. True.
So bad you can taste it. They are no different than miners drilling into a mountain or a piece of land for rare earth minerals. And once they've all been collected, they move on to the next big dig site. And all that's left, in most cases, is an unlivable mess for the wildlife. And I hate to break it to you. You are the rare blue jay that will be displaced by this mining operation of trying to make money off of things that people actually still care about, because the creatives today aren't that creative, and the people who put money up are too chicken shit to put it into something new and interesting. Everyone's just trying to get as much as they can before Terminator Judgment Day comes to pass. And on that note, I'm out of here. Adios, bichachos. And remember to subscribe to this crap just so I could stick it to the people at YouTube. Once I hit 1 million, we're going to do something really sexy with motorcycles.
Pause. Okay. Okay. Pause. Anyways. Regardless. Need to have a few it only needs to have 3 things, maybe. Good story. Company that knows how to make it cinematic. Not erase budget or animation. What, you don't like characters sliding across grass? It's gonna get worse from here on out. It's just gonna get worse. It's just gonna get worse. It will. Original Tom and Jerry was better than this shit. Yep. Yo, have you seen what they have done to Adventure Time? Have you seen what they have done to Adventure Time? They have done horrible things to Adventure Time. The sequel series, whatever you want to call it, is horrendous, buddy. It is horrendous. It is absolutely Fiona and Cake. Yeah, it's essentially just Adventure Time for 30-year-old single women. It really is. It really is. It is. Fiona and Cake. Yeah, I've seen some clips and I was like, "Yep, puke in the creator's mouth." True. Hi Ty, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Hello. Yeah, but it is 100%. It's just the absolute and utter and crazy slop. It's still gonna get watched though. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.